Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Easter to all of you and welcome to another episode of the blockbuster, much renowned, Emmy Award winning priest podcast of Payne County, Pastors of Payne. I'm Father Brian O'Brien. Normally, this is the time when Father Carey says something weird, but he's not here right now, as I was not here last week. So Father Carey recorded an episode without me. We were scheduled to come into the studio, record a show, but I had a funeral at that time, and then sometimes we get busy schedules, and we're not able to schedule in a good amount of time. So anyway, he had a great episode. If you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it with Clay Furley and Kayla Cuba talking about dating and what's it like to be engaged and dating in the 21st century and all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, Father Carey is not here today, but he will be back with us next week. I am joined in the studio by none other than the new and improved children's minister of St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, Mr. Jacob Farni. Welcome, Jacob.
Applause. Yes, hey,
How are we doing?
Doing well.
What's been happening?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Stillwater.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Welcome to it's good to have you.
This is good here. Yeah,
we're good.
Okay.
So when give us a little history. Give us the Jacob Farni biography in 2 minutes or less.
In 2 minutes or less.
Where are you from? What are you doing?
Oh, gosh.
What's happening in life? And then we're going to talk evangelization. We're going to talk children's ministry,
awesome.
All kinds of good stuff. Jacob, tell them what they've won.
So I'll start with I was born Elk City, Oklahoma. Well, born in Oklahoma City. Then they immediately shipped me off to Elk City, Oklahoma.
How many people live in Elk City?
Oh, gosh, a handful. It really kind of depends.
A handful.
If the oil field's doing well, it's like a boom town. I mean, things are rocking and rolling. Walmart's going. You know, we get a McDonald's might move in. And then when the oil field goes down.
There's no McDonald's in Elk City?
No, there's two. There used to be two. It was wild. We thought we were
Where is Elk City? Help people with a little Oklahoma
Elk City is
geography.
I always say it's about as far west in Oklahoma as you can go. Sayre is kind of a little bit further, but we don't mention Sayre. But Elk City is about as far west. I always say if you throw a rock in Elk City, it will land most likely in Texas. Just that's how close we are.
Okay.
To there.
Wow. All right. So you're born. You moved to Elk City.
Grew up in Elk City on the farm. Was raised Catholic. But kind of I think most what Catholics would say is my faith was a part of my life, but it was not the center. So, we went to church on Sundays. We did kind of, the usual. But it wasn't really something we emphasized. It wasn't life-changing,
sure.
Let's say.
Yeah, it didn't define you.
Yeah, but sports was huge.
Sports defined you?
Sports
was your religion?
Really, I'm not kidding. I grew up.
That happens a lot. We see that. I mean, you see it in your job. People kind of, should we go to First Communion or should we go to this baseball game? And we're like, please come to First Communion. And they're like, well, we're going to go to the baseball game.
And I think that's good. Honestly, I think that's a little reason why God called me to ministry was because I really kind of understand that, the struggle. Because there's a lot of achievement in sports, and there's that desire to be the best. So when you start winning, you're like,
and your friends are there, and
right,
yeah, there's all. I get it.
Yeah. So I had this dream. Looking back now, I laugh. I had this dream of being in the NBA. You can't see me on the recording, but I'm a 5'8", white guy, barely jumped maybe a centimeter off the ground. So I really didn't have much hope of making it to the NBA, but I thought I would try. I watched people like Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb. Mike Bibby was my hero.
Oh, Mike Bibby.
No one mentions Mike Bibby.
I have a picture with Mike Bibby.
I'll
show it to you sometime.
What? I always
he
think,
played at Arizona and then played
yeah.
for, what did he play for, the Grizzlies or something?
No kidding. Yeah. He kind of,
was
Sacramento
a baller.
Kings was the height of his career.
He was a baller.
And it kind of went down. But yeah. So yeah, I watched video of them, and what's funny is they were all guards, but I actually love playing post. So
at 5'8".
It was an even bigger contradiction. But anyways, so I started playing basketball at the YMCA. So Grew up in Elk City, went to school in Canute, Oklahoma, which really is a town with a handful of people. I mean,
Canute?
It's like our family, one other family, and then we're all related. But even there, I didn't even start on the team.
All right.
I'm not kidding. So I started playing at the YMCA in Weatherford, and there's SWASU is in Weatherford. So I started playing with a lot of college guys, and I started getting pretty good. I mean, still couldn't score any, but I got halfway decent at defense. So that kind of led me to, I might want to play in college. And so I started looking at colleges. And actually, OSU, I applied. I even got the cool accepted letter.
You got into OSU?
It was huge.
And you didn't come?
No.
What's wrong with you?
Because they didn't offer me a basketball scholarship. I asked, but, they were like, yeah.
It was either you or Marcus Smart, and they went with...
looking at it now,
Smart.
it's probably a good decision for them. Probably worked out better. But, I would have took the scholarship. But yeah, so I got this letter from OBU.
Oklahoma Baptist, yeah.
And God bless them. It actually did more to recruit me to St. Gregory's than it did to OBU. But I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to go to a small, religious college, I'm Catholic. I'll just go to a Catholic college. And, of course, St. Gregory's at the time was the only one in Oklahoma.
St. Gregory's of blessed memory.
Yes, rest in peace.
No longer.
That was wild.
R.I.P. SGU.
Yes.
We don't have to go into that. Okay, so you went to St. Gregory's.
Yeah, I played basketball there, and I initially thought basketball was the reason why I was there. But kind of how God works is He's like, okay, Jacob, you get to play basketball for a while. I'll give you that. Kind of the great merciful God.
He writes straight with crooked lines.
Yeah. So that's what he does. Like, they don't know what they've got. I'm going to go pro, whatever, typical, dream, right? Anyway, so then I met a great group of friends, great priests, the monks there, and I really discovered that the faith I'd been given, it was like, I always describe it as like you have a bank account, like let's say your dad sets up, and he just starts putting money in it, like just tons and tons of money, and then it just builds over the years, but you have no idea you have it.
Oh,
and then one day you kind of just discover it.
That's a great analogy for kind of the treasures of the church. Yeah. At some point, we hope everybody, you kind of wake up and you think, oh my goodness,
it's like,
look at all this.
I have so much, yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. What did you major in at St. Gregory's?
Communications.
Okay.
Originally, well, not for noble reasons originally. Yeah, so actually kind of two reasons. One, because I was told it was one of the easier degrees. God bless whoever said that. And then also, I always wanted to go into radio. In fact, like with my friends back home.
Are you living a dream right now, Jacob?
This is it. This is God's like, you know what? You get to do ministry, and you get to be on the radio.
I'm sorry, our show is only 29 and a half minutes.
That's all right.
It's a good start, though.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be discovered.
Maybe
the EWTN people.
This is the start of my rise
are listening.
I might be the next Chris Stefanik or
there you go. Yeah, there's some good people out there. All right, so you graduated from St. Gregory's.
Yep.
And then what?
Then my heart was kind of set on ministry. I had this conversion in college, and so I started thinking about, okay, I had this, and really where I had to kind of wander for a while, and it wasn't just the worst, but really kind of just wander away from God, and then really like the prodigal son come home. And I thought, I don't want teenagers, kids to have to go through that, what I went through. You shouldn't have to hit rock bottom or go through a period of darkness to then find God.
Yeah, so some people do, but it's not necessarily the ideal path.
Right, that's not what we want every Christian, every Catholic to have to go through. Right. So I thought, if I can go into ministry and bring to these kids the truth that I was given in college, and then presented the faith in an exciting way like that, then I could keep them from wandering away from God and then even getting lost, because it was really grace that I wasn't.
You were
just
lost
gone.
And then found.
Yeah. So and because I wanted to play basketball and was led to St. Gregory's, that's God was like, okay, here, let you follow your dream, but I've got a plan.
I'll follow your dream and I'll crush it later.
Right, gently.
But I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll let you play around with it for a while.
What was nice, it was really kind of my own decision. I realized I'm not that good at basketball, but I was pretty good at ministry, or at least I loved it a lot more than basketball.
Yeah, you had a passion for it. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well,
get some skills.
Yeah.
A little something for God to work with. A little mustard seed.
Yeah, and then I could still play basketball every now and then.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I had to just completely abandon it. But yeah, so that led me to a job as a youth minister in DRE back in Elk City, in my hometown. They say no prophet is welcome in his hometown. But I can say when I went back there, it was awesome.
Right on.
It was absolutely amazing.
So you did that how many years?
Well, I did an internship for about 6 months.
Yep.
And then worked there for about 2.5.
Okay.
So 3 years almost altogether.
Then we're almost to Stillwater, but then
I decided, after kind of doing ministry for 3 years, that I was teaching these kids and I could bring them to the sacrament, but I had this desire in my heart to give them the sacrament, so to be the role of the priest.
Be a priest.
And so I prayed with that for a while, and I decided it was time to go to seminary, which the priest that hired me at St. Matthew's was not too happy.
I'm
happy because
sure.
I discerned, but he was like, Jacob, I just hired you. We're doing well. Things are going good. He's like, you can't go to seminary yet. I said, well, Father, I was like, you of all people know, when the Lord calls, you got to go. So
Nice.
So I packed up and went to seminary. I was in Kendrick Glennon in St. Louis.
We know it.
Amazing
We've
seminary.
got some guys there.
Yeah, Robert Williams, Kyle Down. Let's see who else. Luke,
Yeah,
Joey.
yeah, all kinds of good guys.
Yeah, all great guys. In fact, I always joke they took us out to dinner once, and we went to this really nice restaurant. And they ordered kind of the normal thing because they're with their vocations director, and then
They were with
out of
Stillwater's own Father Michael Pratt.
yeah, Father Pratt. I think out of love, he was like, Jacob, you can order whatever you want. So I get like the roasted lamb, this most expensive thing on the menu.
You charged it to our diocese?
All of Oklahoma City, all the
jerk, what
guys
the
all
heck?
got it. So that's when I was like, okay, maybe Tulsa's okay. They bought me some roasted lamb.
just
I
good
can't hate on it.
hospitality.
Yeah.
All right, so you did seminary for a little bit, and then that...
Yeah, just felt that God wasn't really, my desire to be a priest wasn't growing, but my desire to go back to ministry was.
Yeah.
So
That's a good lesson, too. I think Father Carey and I have talked about a little bit of like going to seminary does not equal becoming a priest.
Yeah.
It's part of your discernment. You get in there. And you're a better man. I know this. You're a better man because of your time in seminary. You're a better children's minister because of your time in seminary.
Oh yeah, my gosh.
Because you learn to pray better. Your knowledge of the faith increases, friendships.
Yep.
There's all, so it's all, So I think that's a misconception that's out there. Like, oh my gosh, someone's going to seminary. They automatically we churn them out the other side as a priest.
Yeah.
But it's not always the case.
And then the sad thing is if a man wanted to leave, sometimes they were like, leave in the middle of the night, tell no one. It's like a shameful thing.
It's something. Yeah, it's something actually to be kind of celebrated. Okay, you went to seminary, you gave God a shot in this particular area.
Yeah.
And now leaving with those certain skills and
a direction, a real direction. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. How many teenagers do you know that go, I don't know what to do with, or college students? We're in a college town here.
Oh,
They
a
go,
lot.
I have no idea what I want to do.
A lot.
I have no idea. But I did. Thanks be to God when I left.
So that was in the last fall.
Yep.
Fall 2020.
So God said, you need to go. And I said, I don't know where to go, Lord, but I'll follow. And sure enough, as I was kind of looking for a job, I applied for a bunch of different stuff, but my heart just wasn't in it. One of the things I applied for was like a solar salesman. And God bless those guys. They're wonderful, but it just, after I kind of just sat there with it, I was like, yeah, that's not me. I'm not a sales guy.
Doesn't sound...
It didn't...
Hard to get passionate about that. I'm sure some people can.
Right.
But not you.
It wasn't for me. Which then let me go, okay, ministry's on my heart, let me look.
So what's cool about the timing of it all, so we were looking for a children's minister, and when I use that phrase, children's minister, someone who would really oversee helping, especially our kids. So when you think of that, think sort of like birth to 5th grade, helping kids. We just sort of assume that kids are just going to sort of pick it up. We assume parents are kind of doing it. And sometimes that's the case, sometimes it's not. And so we really wanted, this is kind of a newer position, a full-time position for us in Stillwater, somebody dedicated to the empowering of parents as primary educators of their children, and helping kids grow in the faith, helping kids encounter the Lord Jesus and grow with him, and then be able to become evangelizers to their friends.
Amen.
So we had been praying about it. So we had actually for us, the position was open all summer, and we interviewed a little bit, but we never found the right fit. And then kind of gave up the search a little bit in early fall to kind of regroup, and then we cranked it back up.
Just about the time I was looking.
And right at the time that Jacob, so I didn't know Jacob. Jacob didn't know us.
I'd heard legends, but I'd never met.
And so it was just one of those beautiful. And I think we've experienced that all along the way when we've tried to hire people, and our staff has grown a good deal since, especially in the last 3 years, moving into the new church and ministry expanding, and so we've just when we have an open spot, we pray and Lord, okay, give us what we need. Touch the hearts of whoever is out there that this need would be filled. And so just that timing all came together really quite beautifully.
It's amazing.
So we interviewed Jacob. I think it was
over Zoom.
Because you were still in seminary.
In my actual room in seminary.
So before you ever left. You had and then you kind of took a little bit of, you got a little sabbatical in between.
A little break.
Couple weeks to
Thanksgiving.
Get back in touch with family and stuff. And then showed up here and we're rocking and rolling.
It was awesome.
So what do you do all day?
A lot. But a lot of, I'm surprised. A lot of ministry nowadays is done on the computer. I always think of this like internet went down the other day, and
internet went down. We just lit the building on fire and left.
We just all left. Yeah, I told Claudia,
why are we even here?
We are so dependent on internet. But yeah, basically what I do is I prepare for Sunday. Sunday is huge. I mean, this church. So
it's like a priest,
right? Sunday is huge. So my whole week is just, and it's amazing. It's 1 hour. You're doing multiple masses, but for me, it's just like 1 hour or 2 hours with kids. But it's a week of preparation before then, because one, we want to make sure it's fun and it's engaging, and then we've got volunteers to take care of. We've got future events to schedule. So I kind of spend my days looking to the future a little bit, but then also directly preparing for Sunday, so that when I see the kids and they see me, I'm ready, and we can just have a blast. Yeah,
that's awesome, because what we do is, in his case, kind of mostly concentrating on like pre-K through 5th grade families. And so when do people come to church? Most people, they come on Sunday. Now, do people come during the week? Are there meetings? Yes.
Right.
But that preparation, I think, similar to it, and I think what some people might think is like, oh, Jacob just shows up on. Oh, so he works for like an hour a week?
What do we got this guy
and
here
I think
for?
People say the same thing about priests of like, oh, man, what's it like to just work on Sundays? And it's like, what
you get to
I'm
take a
going to
nap
punch you in the
day.
face. You better shut up.
Gosh.
And even like, like preaching, it takes preparation to like,
it drains you.
Give a good homily. So very similar is like, you've got what we offer. If it's a program or some kind of initiative, it needs to be organized. And so with kids, it needs to be, kind of safety.
Right. Yeah.
Or, a check-in.
Yeah.
Kids checking in. Volunteers are all those volunteers. We do like background checks on our volunteers. And, are they trained? Do they know what they're doing? Are they organized? Are they going to show up? Do they have name tags? Do they have, sort of all that stuff, all the kind of those details. And then ultimately you put on like an event that tries to preach the gospel, that tries to help our kids fall in love with Jesus.
And there's a tendency to like overcomplicate it, and I've done this myself. In fact, recently even. But it's just like there's a tendency to overcomplicate it and even get like a little stressed about it. But then it's also like a good reminder is that like when we teach the Trinity, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit teach through us. And so I've kind of found freedom in going, okay, things are not going to go as planned because we can overplan. But I'm just going to let the kind of the freedom of the Spirit guide the day and the planning. And so, it's just like when you let kind of God be in control, it's so much better. But again, you still got to plan. You still got to plan. Right?
You still got to plan.
Yeah, I love it. I always say when people ask me what I do, I always say my job is literally to plan fun things for kids to do. And then not only do I get to plan it, I get to go do it.
Yeah, and
so
then
I get to have fun
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So it's a blast.
That's awesome because, in our parish, I mean, we have a lot of families. There's a lot of kids.
Yes.
And those kids and families are kind of at different levels. We have families that are like uber involved. If we're offering something, you're
seeing them there almost every day of the week.
And then you got some that are a little bit, kind of whether for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes they travel, they go see family on the weekends, and so they're not. All kinds of reasons. Some people just coming back to their faith. Some people new to the faith.
Yep.
And then others that we don't really see, and so wanting to engage all of those different kinds of groups, and it's really it can be difficult because you have kids like just in terms of knowledge of the faith who like will blow you away. They're like in fourth grade and they're like telling you about these like first century saints, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of that guy.
I had one kid tell me about Noah's Ark. He was like, this is how he built it. This is how he fashioned the wood.
Yeah.
He used these kind of nails, or he used this because he didn't have nails. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even need to teach you.
I've never heard that before.
You're done. Let's confirm you right now.
And so trying to work on helping families of all types.
Yeah.
Families with multiple parents, single parents, families with parents who travel. In our parish, we have families that speak multiple languages. So kind of English.
Yes.
English is the first, Spanish the second, but then we have families beyond that. We have Brazilians and Burmese and
Vietnamese,
all kinds. Yeah, Vietnamese, all kinds of things in between. So anyway, that's kind of the challenge of the job. One reason I wanted to have Jacob on today, one to kind of just if you haven't had a chance to meet him here in Stillwater, here's your a little intro, but then also to talk about the summer. So one thing Father Carey and I kind of harp on, usually around this time every year, is that the summer is not the time to pull back.
God does not rest in the summer.
And
God
so I think there's a mentality
active.
sometimes among Catholics and others of the summer, we don't go as much, or we're not involved as much, when in fact it's actually a beautiful opportunity to grow in your faith, because you're not in school.
It's almost more of a commitment.
There's more time.
Yeah.
There's more kind of freedom for prayer, to come to daily mass, to come to adoration, to come to kind of events. So anyway, walk us through what the summer at St. Francis Xavier looks like for kids.
Yeah, okay, summer's going to be a blast.
We got some stuff.
We've got some plans. So one of our focuses, and really kind of going back to, I think one of the big reasons I was brought here to Stillwater, one by the Lord, and then of course by Father O'Brien, by you,
facilitated
and the rest of the
by
staff, is because one thing we really want to focus on is bringing the faith out of the church and into the home. And again, we have wonderful families. Like me getting to know some of the families here, we have some great ones. But that doesn't mean we can't help them, or it can be even better. But we also have families that they go, Jacob, I don't know the catechism, or I don't know how to. Basically, like, I need you to help me teach my kids the faith, and that's okay. But so our goal is to really help families, kind of empower them to be able to bring that faith in the home. And so one of the things we're doing this summer is our Xavier Family Nights.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring mom, dad, older brother, younger sister, basically from birth,
all.
Birth till adults.
Yeah.
And we're going to have something for all of them.
So that's so our first one is May 23rd.
Yeah, May 23rd, and then we've got another
These are Sunday nights.
Sunday nights.
Is that right? Sunday nights. So we're going to feed you. We're going to feed you. And then what I think is so cool, and this is an idea, we've talked a lot in our staff about kind of breaking down silos. This happens a lot. It happens in every organization, businesses, but also happens in churches. And that is, Jacob's in charge of children, and the priests are in charge of mass, and Ashley Martin is in charge of teenagers, but like none of us, and
they do their own thing.
Yeah, you do children's things. Yeah. But so we have this meeting once a month where we talk about kind of how we can better minister to families. And it's the two priests, Father Robert and I. Jacob is there, Stacy Humbert, our director of Evangelization and Mission, and Ashley Martin, who runs that kind of the 6th through 12th grade. And what we talk about is how can we minister better to families as a whole, as a parish. Yeah. And that's where this idea came from. So the idea is you come on this Sunday night. We're going to do one in May, one in July, one in August. And you come, and there's like something for everyone. So we're going to feed you. And then we kind of break off. Yeah. Right? So Jacob will have, like, what the kids will.
Pre-K through 5th grade will be in our, in the parish hall. And basically we do, if you haven't heard yet, it's called Xavier Kids Live. Then we have Xavier Kids at Home, which is like a online episode. But Xavier Kids Live, the best way I've heard it
As
described,
advertised, live.
it's amazing. The best way I've heard it described is it's like Vacation Bible School, but literally every Sunday. So imagine the especially you parents who brought your kids to Vacation Bible School. Imagine the excitement that your kid has when they get back home from
Yeah,
VBS.
they're singing and
They're like bouncing off the walls. I mean, they're so excited to be Catholic. We want to capture that and do that every Sunday. So that's what Xavier Kids Live is. We basically we do praise and worship. We have skits. We have like a Bible story, and it's all kind of centered around a theme. Right now we're becoming ninja warriors, so we're learning how to take off bad habits and put on good habits. But on these family nights, we're going to do something exactly like our Xavier Kids Live. So there'll be fun games to play. There'll be a specific lesson based on the topic of the night.
So theme-wise, we're going to do in May. The theme is like the creed. What do Catholics believe? So there'll be for the adults an age-appropriate talk to help the adults know better what they believe. There'll be one for the teenagers. There'll be one for the kids. That's Jacob, and then there'll also be one for adults in Spanish.
Yeah, praise God.
So all those groups kind of happening all at once. So in May we're going to do the theme is the creed and what we believe. July is going to be the sacraments.
Yep.
And what kind of how God gives us His life in the sacraments. And then in August it's going to be the human sexuality.
Yeah.
The theology of the body.
Created in God's image.
Created in God's image. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so we
awesome.
got that. What else? We got 3 minutes left.
We got Vacation Bible School
What are
coming
the
up
dates?
in
Give us-
June 28th through July 1st, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That's going to be awesome.
The theme is crown. So we're going to talk about how we are made God's children through baptism. And then since we're His children, also heirs to His kingdom. So we're going to have fun with that.
That's going to be awesome. And so that is like sign-ups. That's open right now.
Yeah, open. Yep. You can find it online.
Go on the website, sfxstillwater.org.
Yeah. If you're on our flock note, you might have already got the flock note already.
Yeah. Or you can call Jacob.
You can just call my office.
Yeah.
And
he likes to be called in the middle of the night.
Yep. 12 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm usually up praying.
He's always awake. One of the reasons we hired
then.
Jacob is that he doesn't sleep, and it's awesome.
Just 24 hours
He's universally
a day,
available. No, I'm just kidding, of course. So we got VBS, which will be awesome.
It's going to be a blast.
And then Xavier Kids Live stuff happening.
We've got a few more of those
throughout the summer.
Until, we'll have the family nights through the summer. But we still have some live events happening. We have, let's see, our next date is May 16th. Oh, sorry, no, May 2nd, May 16th, and May 30th. So we've got a few coming up in May.
All through May. And those are on Sunday. That's Sunday mornings.
Sunday mornings.
What if a family that's not Catholic showed up?
If a family that was not Catholic, but they wanted to...
They just want to
kind of see what we were
bring
doing.
Their kids.
I would say they're welcome.
Yeah, let's go.
They are welcome to come to Xavier Kids.
So we'd say
morning.
reach out ahead of time.
Yeah, let us know.
So we know who you are, know your kids' names.
And even with our check-in system, they could check in as a guest and just say, hey, we want to kind of see what this is all about.
That's awesome.
And so we could let them stay as a guest. And
I always thought it was interesting for Vacation Bible School. We didn't have it last summer because of COVID, but before that there would be sort of like cousins would be coming and visiting their family from somewhere else, and they would come like the week of Vacation Bible School. We're like, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Yeah, that's awesome.
I said we do these interviews for the Stewardship magazine, and one of the things I said was every family in Payne County should come to St. Francis Xavier.
Yeah, bring it.
And bring their families and bring their kids to Xavier Kids Live.
That's awesome.
It's a blast.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And I'll tell you,
God.
I mean, just from my perspective as a pastor, Jacob really just started in December.
Which has been a while ago. I mean,
so it's a little while, but
months,
we're just getting going. So what you're
Yeah.
seeing now is just a beautiful preview of things to come with Xavier Kids, and
it's growing.
So anyway, Jacob's office is right over by our preschool, by our ECDC. So you can stop by there. You can call him. You can email him. You can check out the Xavier Kids flock note.
Yeah.
To get on that, you just text the word Stillwater to 84576. And that'll get you all the parish flock note stuff. But anyway, Jacob Farni, great to have you here on Pastors of Pain. Father Carey will be back next week. We hope you have a great week. God bless you. Happy Easter.